Welcome to the Slow Living Collective podcast. I'm Amy, wife, mother of two and homemaker. Come along with me as I share my love for simple living, growing in my allotment garden, diving into what it means to be an urban homesteader and embracing life as a mother and homemaker. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Slow Living Collective podcast. Today I want to talk to you about yoga. Okay, stay with me. Because earlier this year I completed my qualification, my 200 hours to become a registered yoga teacher, and it has been such an amazing yoga journey for me. Now, I'm not going to stand here and say, or sit here and say actually, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I am the best, most perfect person at yoga, because that would just be untrue. I am what I hope to put across is I am an imperfect person when it comes to yoga. Now, I have been doing yoga for years, and I truly believe that there is no such thing as some of the perfection that you might see on the internet when it comes to yoga. You know, we can't all bend in all these different ways, and we certainly cannot just, I don't know, we're not standing on rocks overlooking the ocean doing our yoga. Yoga is personal, it is normal, it is simple, it is for us. And today I want to talk to you about how you can find balance and inner peace as a beginner or intermediate even when it comes to yoga. Now, I've been doing yoga for years, and it has been something that I have found deep satisfaction and deep peace with, because practicing yoga often offers such a multitude of physical, mental and emotional benefits. Now, obviously, we all know about the physical. Yoga enhances our flexibility, our strength, our balance, and just generally improves our overall body awareness and coordination. Sometimes it can help to tone our muscles, it can increase our stamina, and it can even improve our cardiovascular health. But mentally, I find yoga is where it's the most important, because it really cultivates mindfulness and it allows presence, and it allows us to find this calm and centered state of mind. That can help us with our mental clarity, our focus, our concentration, reducing stress, and for me, the important one, anxiety. So, emotionally, yoga provides this real nourishing space for self-reflection, and I think emotional release as well. And it fosters this sense of inner peace, self-acceptance, and self-love. And so, for me, regular yoga practice really helps me with so many different things, but mostly the boost of my emotional well-being. And whether I'm on the mat or off it, practicing yoga offers a real holistic approach to wellness and nurtures the connection between our body, our mind, and our soul. Yoga also helps us focus on our breath and intentional movement, and it just brings us to the present moment and really helps to foster this sense of mindfulness. It encourages us to pay attention to the sensations in our body, the rhythm of our breath, the thoughts and emotions that arise in our minds. In fact, I think something that's really common is when people say like, oh, I can't meditate, or I can't be mindful because my mind just wanders. And I like to tell them that it's the point. It's almost the point. And being aware of it, that your mind is wandering during maybe a yoga session or a meditation, is that you're aware of it and you try and bring your mind back to the present moment. And so it's normal, and it's definitely not a reason that we should stop our practice, because this heightened awareness really allows us to cultivate sort of a deep sense of presence and also a greater connection to ourselves and also the world around us. And in addition to mindfulness, yoga is really renowned for its ability to reduce stress and anxiety. So that is like stress and anxiety, it's my middle name. So the combination of gentle movements, deep breathing and relaxing techniques really activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes a state of calm and relaxation. So regular yoga practice can really help you release tension, reduce your cortisol levels, and actually improve your overall stress management skills. And this really helps us to navigate life's challenges, of which there are plenty, but it does help us navigate them with a little bit greater ease, I guess. Now, yoga is, I would say, really mostly known for its flexibility and strength. That's what people tend to do it for. To some extent, I think people like to take up yoga because they obviously want the calm and relaxation, and I think people tend to give it up because they do one session and they're like, I'm not relaxed, what's the point? But as we sort of move through various poses and sequences, as we gently stretch our muscles, we can obviously improve our flexibility and our range of motion, but we are also connecting more to our mind. And holding these poses, flowing through sequences, of course, it helps build our muscular strength, our stability, our endurance. It helps our flexibility, but it also connects to our minds because we have this mental strength that is cultivated through yoga, and that comes from the discipline, the focus, and the resilience that's required to navigate some of these challenging poses and to help us really stay present when we're on the mat. So I think you can tell from all of that the practice of yoga really does nourish our overall well-being. It offers a space for self-care, self-exploration, and self-compassion. The mind and body connection fostered in yoga is like no other, and it allows us to listen to our bodies, honour our limits, and really cultivate this deeper understanding of ourselves. And this heightened sense of well-being extends far beyond just our physical practice because it positively influences our relationships, our work-life balance, and actually overall our quality of life. Yoga really does serve as a holistic pathway to greater harmony, balance, and I think as well a profound sense of well-being. Now, like I said, I've been doing yoga for many, many years, and it's one of the reasons why I decided to get my hours and become a registered yoga teacher. So I have done yoga both pre-children and since I've had children. When I was pregnant with my first child, I did yoga right up until my 36th week of pregnancy. I would have gone a little further if I'm honest, but it was the Christmas break, so there was not more I could do in physical terms of classes. But yeah, I was the girl who was doing handstands supported, but handstands against the wall when I was like 35 weeks pregnant. And let me tell you, there was something amazing when I was pregnant doing yoga and, taking that time at the end of relaxation and mindfulness just to connect to myself, but also connect to my little one as well. And so it was something I did continue through my second pregnancy. Now, I have always had a problem with my pelvis throughout pregnancy. I think I've spoken about this before. I definitely spoke about it when I had Megan from Vibrant Mama Wellness on the podcast, and it's something that did sort of like inhibit me, particularly in my second pregnancy. But my second pregnancy was during COVID, so it wasn't that easy to go to in-person classes, but it was still time. I took online classes with my studio as well, and that was really good. So starting a yoga practice can often be the hardest part, but it can also be the most exciting and transformative part because firstly, it really does start with finding the right style. There are so many different styles of yoga and they all offer a unique approach. There's Hatha yoga, which provides sort of like the foundation for beginners, and it has a gentle pace and focuses on the real basic postures. Now, I love doing that, but there's Vinyasa yoga as well, which is more of a flow, with synchronized breath. And there's yin yoga. I am actually in the process of training to do more focused yin yoga, and yin yoga targets deep connective tissues and really promotes relaxation and flexibility. And it's more of a restorative yoga. I'm also going to be training in yoga nidra, which is yogic sleep. And these things, they focus on rest and rejuvenation through supported poses. So by exploring these styles and understanding the differences, it can really help you choose one that really aligns with your needs and interests. But equally, it's really important to find a teacher that really resonates with you. I absolutely adored my yoga teacher at my studio. She was one of the first people to know I was pregnant, because I had to tell her, to make sure that things I was doing were safe, because I wasn't in a pregnancy yoga class. And so, find someone who's really supportive, and has an inclusive environment, offers guidance, and encourages you to just honour your body and practice at your own pace. Like I said, there is no such thing as perfection in yoga, so you need to and you want to go at your own pace, and just honour who you are, and honour your body, and honour what you can do. It's not about what everybody else can do, it's about what you can do. So I think finding the right style of yoga and the right teacher can really make all the difference in creating a fulfilling and transformative yoga practice. So, when you're a beginner, which most of us are, right? Well, we're all beginners at some point, but most people engaging in yoga are at beginner level. And so, when you're embarking on your yoga journey, it's really essential to choose, things, classes, resources that really cater to you. Remember, one of the most important aspects of starting a yoga practice is finding a really supportive and inclusive environment that aligns with your needs and goals, whether that is in person or online. Just don't hesitate to explore the different options that are out there. Trust your intuition and really just enjoy it, because I'm certain that your yoga practice will bring you joy and much inner peace. So when it comes to yoga practice, I feel like setting intentions and creating a safe and comfortable space really helps to cultivate a meaningful and transformative experience. Setting an intention when it comes to yoga really allows you to bring into focus the purpose of your practice. Maybe you're looking to cultivate more mindfulness. Maybe you're looking to relax. Maybe you're looking to help your anxiety, or find inner peace, or just nurture who you are. If you set an intention, you create almost this guiding light which will help you stay grounded and really aligned throughout your practice. And additionally, by indulging in a safe and comfortable space, you are able to nurture yourself and enjoy your practice more. So if you're taking classes at home, for example, which is my favourite thing to do, is doing online classes or doing online instruction. I make sure that my space is clear, that the lighting is slightly dimmed if I can. It's not so easy in the winter months, but much better this time of year. And make sure I've got all the props and cushions that I'm going to need throughout, that can help support me physically but also mentally towards the end of my practice. And then I don't have the space to have a dedicated space for yoga. It's just like roll it out in my bedroom. But when I do, that space becomes my sanctuary for the duration of my practice. And I am hopefully able to let go of external distractions and just immerse myself in the moment. But let me be clear with this. I think I said it before. Our minds do wander, and sometimes it's not possible to totally disconnect, but it's completely okay. Uh, I always find that sometimes when we talk about yoga, we're expected to switch off. We're expected to just be immersing ourselves in the present, and it's just not always possible. There are always 1,000 things running through my mind, like, do I need to prep for this? Do I need to do that? Have I done this for this child? Is this child okay with this? And it's just ongoing. There's so much to think about all the time, and I think it is sort of unrealistic to expect us to be able to switch our mind off at will. But by setting our intentions and creating this comfortable space, we can start to honour ourselves and our practice, and this will slowly but surely allow for deeper connections with our body and our mind and our soul as well. Now, I mentioned a little while ago about yoga props, but I want to talk about the things that you might need to get started. You're not going to need all of these. In fact, I am a great proponent in just doing it. You don't even need a mat if you have a piece of flooring that is safe enough for you to do the yoga poses on. However, I am going to go through some things that you might want to get as you move through your yoga journey, and there are equipment that can really help enhance your yoga practice too. So I already mentioned it, but a yoga mat is a great option. If whether you have harder flooring or carpet, something with a good grip will work on both and enables you sort of to have some more stability while you're working on your practice. So I actually have a mat from Yoga Matters, and it's been fantastic. I've had it for years. I really recommend it. It's thin, it rolls up quite small, but it's got good grip and feels nice and comfortable when you're laying on it. Now also there are props you can use. I like to use blocks and straps and also blankets because that helps to modify poses, deepen stretches and maintains proper alignment. Now I also buy my stuff from Yoga Matters for that as well. There is a vast array online. This isn't sponsored by Yoga Matters, I'm just sharing where I get my stuff from. I find that having some blocks really helps, but also blankets, especially when you are in a more meditative state at the end of your practice. You might get cold, specifically during the winter months, but you can also use blankets to help you with poses. You can roll them up, you can sit on them, there's all sorts you can do. In the same way, you can get bolsters and cushions. I don't have my own bolster at home, but I did used to use a bolster in the studio. When I was pregnant, I used like 1,000 bolsters. But this is great for restorative or gentle yoga practices. It can provide you extra support and comfort during poses that require longer holds, maybe. So if you're practicing yin yoga, there are a lot more sort of long holds in yin yoga. So that might be something that you might want to think about. Obviously, if you have specific needs or limitations, then you might want to consider props that are designed for support in those areas. You might need knee pads, wrist pads, or again, blankets, bolsters, blocks, things like that. So they're tools to support you and enhance your practice, but they're not essential. So just start with the basics. Like I said, a mat is sort of the bare minimum, but if you don't even have a mat, then you can still do yoga, and you can gradually add props as you progress in your practice and discover what things you really need. Ultimately, you're going to want to find the right balance, and that will be completely personal to you, and whatever makes you feel comfortable, supported and connected to your practice. Now, when I talk to people about yoga, I think what comes up most commonly is the consistency. And consistency is really key when it comes to experiencing the transformative effects of yoga. Once you develop a regular and dedicated practice, you are able to deepen your understanding of your practice. You'll be able to build more strength and flexibility. You will see somewhat progress, and you will start to cultivate this sense of inner awareness and connection. And just like any other skill or discipline, progress in yoga comes with this consistent effort and commitment. So when you show up on your mat regularly, even if it's just for a short practice of 5-10 minutes, you are starting to create this steady foundation for transformation. The consistency really helps you develop a rhythm and familiarity with the practice, allowing you to move more seamlessly through poses and sequences, and also the benefits that you experience from yoga, such as increased mindfulness, less stress, less anxiety, improved physical well-being. These things will all accumulate over time and with a consistent practice. So whether you are practicing daily or a couple of times a week, this consistency will create the space for yoga to work its magic and really unfold its transformative effects in your life, both on and off the mat. So if you struggle to establish a regular routine, which so many people do, then here are a few tips that I think can help you overcome some common obstacles. and just make it a more consistent part of your life. So firstly, set a schedule and determine the best time for your practice and commit to it. It might be early morning, lunchtime, or maybe even evening, but just establishing a regular schedule really helps create a habit, and it will help make it easier to put into your routine. It doesn't matter what time of day you do yoga. Don't listen to people that say you need to be up at 5 a.m. doing yoga. You absolutely don't. I've never done yoga at 5 a.m. I am much more of an evening kind of person. That's because that's when I have more time. I can say to my husband, I'm going to go off and do some yoga quickly, and that's, perfectly fine. I just wouldn't have that opportunity in the morning. So another good thing to establish a regular routine is just start small. Begin with short sessions that feel achievable to you, because it's better to have a short practice that you can consistently commit to rather than a longer session that becomes overwhelming or you feel like you can't fit in. So as you build up your consistency, you can obviously increase the duration of your practice as necessary. And you need to make it a priority, because if you really want to do yoga, then you need to treat your practice as an important appointment with yourself. So you need to prioritize it in your daily schedule and avoid scheduling other activities during that time. And so if you have other family members, maybe a husband, wife, partner, communicate your commitment to them so they can help support and respect your practice time. If you've got children, it might mean that, a member of your family, husband, wife, partner, etc., can take the children during that time so you can actually have a dedicated time to do it. Now, I don't have this, but if you do, I recommend this. Create a dedicated space. And by that I mean designate a specific area in your home where you can practice yoga. Now, I don't have much space to leave something out, but even if you have a small corner, make it inviting and free from distractions. So I do yoga by the side of my bed, and that's my little space. But it makes it easier to be able to transition into practice, and that does sort of signal to your mind that it's time to start doing yoga. And be flexible and adaptable. And I don't mean flexible in terms of like the poses, but just remember that life can be unpredictable, and some days it's going to be challenging to stick to your routine. So on these days, maybe adapt your practice. Even a few minutes of mindful breathing or gentle stretches can really help you maintain your connection to yoga. So if you are somebody that needs further accountability, join a yoga class. You can join a class either online or an in-person class and just get some more support and accountability. And be gentle with yourself, because establishing a routine for anything really takes time and patience. So be kind and compassionate towards yourself. If you miss a practice or you're struggling, just be kind to yourself. Approach your practice with this almost non-judgmental curiosity. Embrace each day as an opportunity to start over. And I think that by following these tips, you'll really be able to overcome some just really common challenges and start to establish a regular routine that will hopefully bring you a lot of joy. I do get it though, incorporating yoga into your daily life can sometimes not be easy. But even if you have a busy schedule, you can make a few minor adjustments. So definitely take micro yoga breaks. This is finding small pockets of time throughout your day where you can incorporate a really short yoga break. And it can be as simple as a few minutes of stretching, deep breathing, or maybe even a brief meditation. And these mini yoga breaks can really help release tension or reset your mind, or actually just bring a sense of calm amidst a busy day. Now, like I said, find a ritual that works for you. Maybe it's mornings. Maybe you want to start your day with a short yoga practice, or maybe it's evening where you want to engage in a gentle flow, stretching or grounding poses. Whichever works for you, find this dedicated time, because it will help you create a peaceful transition either into or out of your day. And if you're able, lunchtime yoga. If you've maybe you work from home, and try it and utilize your lunch break to squeeze in a quick yoga session. Maybe it'll be at your desk, maybe it might be in a conference room if you're in the office, or maybe you have an outdoor space, but just a space where you can do a few stretches or gentle movements, or maybe even follow a short online yoga video. This can really help rejuvenate your body and enhance your productivity for the rest of the day. Something I've been practicing loads is multitasking mindfulness, and you can combine mindfulness with other activities. For example, you can practice mindful breathing or gentle stretches while waiting for your coffee to finish doing. You can do it while cooking. This allows you to really infuse moments of mindfulness into your daily routine. Something I did particularly through the winter when I was making porridge. I would always stick porridge in the microwave. That was just easy and my go-to. And I switched that out and started making porridge on top of the hob instead in a saucepan. And I used that stir-in time just to have a mindful moment, and it is really fantastic, and I definitely recommend it. I know it sounds like I'm taking all this extra time, but it's just a few extra minutes and it just works magic. So something I love and I'm hoping to do more of this year in terms of my teaching is yoga in nature. You guys know I'm a huge advocate of being outdoors. Vitamin D on my face, hands in the soil, feet on the soil, just lots of grounding. So if you're able to do yoga outside in nature, then take advantage. Find a park, a beach, or your garden, balcony, unroll your mat and just connect with the natural environment, because breathing in the fresh air, feeling the earth beneath your feet and being surrounded by nature can really enhance the benefits of your yoga practice. Yoga is this really powerful practice that really cultivates mindfulness, self-awareness and inner calm. And through the integration of the movement of yoga, the breath, and just conscious awareness, yoga in general really invites us to be present in the here and now. Now, like I keep saying, it's not always possible, and that doesn't mean we're failing at yoga. It's just we're busy people and we have busy minds, but just bringing our minds back to the present and being aware that our mind has wandered is enough. And, as we flow through postures, we focus on our breath, the sensations we feel in our body, we start to slowly become attuned more to the present moment. And it slowly but surely, as you develop a regular practice, will start to quiet that chatter in your mind. And this heightened awareness really allows us to observe our thoughts, our emotions, and physical sensations without judgment. And we can slowly start to develop a deeper understanding of ourselves, our reactions, and we become more attuned to our needs, our boundaries, and this empowers us to make conscious choices that align with our well-being. Now, yoga also teaches us to find stillness and calm with the fluctuations of life. And we do that through breath-centered practices, meditations, relaxation techniques. We learn to quiet our mind, release tension, and tap into a sense of inner tranquility. And the practice of yoga therefore becomes more of a sanctuary where we can find refuge from the busyness of life. It enables us to reconnect with ourselves and cultivate this deep sense of peace and presence. Within yoga, there are specific techniques and poses that are particularly effective in promoting relaxation, stress reduction, and grounding. And one such technique is deep belly breathing, also known as diaphragmatic breathing. Now, by consciously engaging the diaphragm and taking slow, deep breaths, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, triggering a relaxation response in the body. This technique can be practiced both on and off the mat and offers an instant tool for calming the mind and soothing the nervous system. There are also poses such as child's pose, placing your legs up a wall, and laying in corpse pose. All of these are well known for their ability to induce a state of real deep relaxation and help us release tensions. These poses also help facilitate this sort of sense of surrender and grounding and spaciousness, which really allows the body and mind to unwind and rejuvenate. And when you incorporate these techniques and poses into your yoga practice, you help provide yourself a sanctuary of peace and tranquility. Pranayama, the practice of breath control and meditation, are such powerful tools to deepen the connection with inner peace. One pranayama technique that promotes calm and relaxation is something called alternate nostril breathing. This practice involves alternating breath between the left and right nostrils, which balances energy channels in the body and brings a sense of almost equilibrium to the mind. In addition to pranayama, meditation practices can also enhance the connection with inner peace. Mindfulness meditation, for example, involves bringing attention to the present moment, observing your thoughts and sensations without judgment, and cultivates this state of non-reactive awareness. When we anchor our attention in the present, we can find refuge from the distractions of the mind and tap into this deep well of tranquility within. By incorporating breath work and meditation practices into our yoga routines and daily lives can be so transformative. It offers the opportunity to quiet the mind, to cultivate inner stillness, and experience a profound sense of peace and harmony within ourselves. And with consistent practice, these tools become a gateway to accessing and nourishing our inner peace that does reside in each of us, even if it doesn't always feel that way. Now, when we talk about yoga, we often think about what takes place on the mat, but the integration of yoga principles extends far into our daily life beyond our physical practice just on our yoga mats. The essence of yoga really lies in its holistic approach. And listen, as a qualified holistic health coach, I am here for that. All jokes aside, though, as we deepen our understanding with the yogic philosophy and its principles, we can apply them to all of our interactions, our choices, and our attitudes in everyday life. We can also apply the yogic philosophy to our relationships, to our work, to our personal growth, and it can have this profound impact on our overall well-being and also our overall sense of inner peace. In relationships, we can practice cultivating compassion, empathy, and deep listening, and also create space for open and authentic communication. By practicing self-care, self-compassion, and cultivating a sense of gratitude, we're able to better nurture our personal growth and well-being too. The key is to bring these techniques of yoga off the mat and into our daily lives, applying them with intention and mindfulness to help foster a positive change, growth, and also inner peace. Now, I'm not going to just leave you there with this episode. So to help you get started, I have created a free guide for you guys, listeners of this podcast. And whether you're a beginner in yoga or an intermediate, free guide, Elevate Your Yoga Practice, a holistic guide to mindful movement, is designed to meet you where you're at and support you in elevating your practice to new heights. This comprehensive guide provides step-by-step instructions, helpful tips, and insightful guidance to really help you enhance your yoga journey. We're going to explore foundational poses, alignment principles, dive into breath work and meditation techniques, and this guide will empower you to deepen your connection with yourself and also with your practice of yoga. So whether you're looking to have more physical strength, mental clarity, or emotional balance, this free guide will help provide you with the tools and resources to embark on a more transformative journey with yoga. So rediscover the joy of mindful movement, harness the power of your breath, and reconnect with yourself on a deeper level. This guide is going to be a totally valuable resource for beginners and intermediates of yoga, and for anyone looking to cultivate a holistic and meaningful yoga practice that nurtures not only the body but the mind and soul as well. So you can download your free copy today at theslowlivingcollective.com/free yoga and start to embark on a path of self-discovery and growth. I encourage you to embark on your yoga journey and discover the transformative power a consistent practice can really bring. No matter what your level is, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or maybe even an expert, yoga offers a path to reconnect with your body, to quiet your mind, and to nurture your spirit. Start by dedicating a few minutes each day to your practice, whether it's through gentle stretching, breath work, or meditation. Embrace the process rather than focusing solely on the outcome. Allow yourself to grow and evolve at your own pace. And remember, the true essence of yoga really does lie in the journey and not just the destination, as cheesy as that sounds. Through regular practice, you will cultivate mindfulness, strength, flexibility, and a deeper sense of inner calm. Take that first step, roll out your mat, and let the transformative power of yoga guide you towards a life of greater harmony, presence, and inner peace. Okay, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope that was helpful and gave you a little insight into why yoga can be such a transformative experience. Don't forget to download your free guide, Elevate Your Yoga Practice, a holistic guide to mindful movement. You can download it at theslowlivingcollective.com/free yoga. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope it was helpful, and I would love to know what you think of the free guide I created for you. Take it, download it, print it, enjoy it, and ultimately just enjoy the benefits of a yoga journey. I would love to connect with you online, so be sure to follow me on Instagram. You can find me there at lifeonplot44, and you can also follow my blog, which is theslowlivingcollective.com. Thank you so much for joining me in today's episode and for listening. I am so grateful to each and every one of you, and until next time, I will catch you in the next episode.